everything does convert that has carbohydrates in them, whether it's complex carbs or simple carbohydrates. They might break down differently in the body, but the end product is still glucose, if that would make any sense.
Yeah, I think what confused me also is because when I first started the journey, I was introduced to Dr. Robert Morse, ND, and he says how grapes, melons, and lemons are really important to alkaline and detox the body. So grapes are really high in sugar, but he had a lot of people under his practice that all followed him, and they did very well just by eating fruit. So that's why I was a little confused. Is it, if I stick to a fruitarian diet, would it be different versus just including fruit in my diet? So I always had fruit, pineapples and things like that, and now I'm a little unsure if I should readjust my diet.
So if you here's the thing though, when you the whole problem of eating protein, fat, and fruits together, because the glucose molecules binds to protein and fat molecules and glycates it. That's a whole problem. If you, for example, focus just on being fruitarian, eating only fruits, you might not have that process. It's gonna, you're not gonna get like a protein intake and a fat intake. So the amount of glucose is gonna convert into the fat in your body, and your body is gonna use that fat to make an energy. Mitochondria would make energy from that fat that comes from the fruits. But the whole picture is fruits are not sustainable because human body needs protein, human body needs fat, and you might sustain on it sometime, but it's going to come to the point when your body is going to get depleted in certain things, because we all know the protein is basically building block in human body, especially the highest protein that we have in our body, about like, it depends on the age, of course, around 65-70% is collagen. And the source of collagen comes from mostly from animals, because that type of collagen that comes from tyrosine, that's what we need. But eating only fruits, as I said, you can manage it sometime, but down the road is going to cause nutrition deficiencies in the body, because there is no type of plants in the world that contains everything the human body needs.
Yeah.
There is
Thank
not.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Maya.
also to add on to that is when you're eating your fruit. If you're an all fruit diet, you can't be eating fruit all day, every day, because of the sugar content in there. But if you eat fruit early in the morning, that's the best time to have your fruit, your fresh fruits, is then, because then your body has all day to be able to use that up to actually turn it and actually to work it through the system. Certainly not at night. No sugar, no fruit at night, because it'll raise your cortisol levels. It will wreak havoc on your system.
Yeah. And the whole process of understanding how your body makes energy, like how mitochondria makes energy, it's not only like a glucose involved in making energy, there's also fat, and there's also proton and electrons. That's what makes the energy in the mitochondria. So to be able to make protons, you have to have a protein. For the body to convert into, like to make energy from, like to have a protons, you have to have a like protein. Like people do talk about, I know people do talk about ketogenic diet or carnivore diet or this or that. There's a whole big picture around that. The diet is not, to me, diet is not the first step when it comes to cancer. For me to understand physics of the way the body makes energy and other things, that's, I think, number one. And then after that comes other steps. Because we have to make an energy even putting our steps on the ground. It's a free electrons. So we make energy. We might not eat, but putting our feet on the ground, we make energy from that. That fits our cells, that fits the mitochondria. So there's many other ways to understand that. So the diet is not anymore. It used to be before, but not anymore. More deeper I go into the understanding, quantum biology. It doesn't like I would focus more spending time in nature than focusing more on the diet.
I love that.
Well,
Thank you so much,
yeah.
Maya.
And we have Julia's hand up too. And then I do have something to add too after. Oh, and then Lillian, and then I can add something after that too. I was just going to say it is both what Maya and what Deborah was talking about too, or Deborah were talking about too, is important. And it's just also really good to know, just how your body functions with things, really just paying attention to how you feel after you've eaten something. So again, being conscious when we're eating, but also how are you feeling? Are you feeling more lethargic? Are you feeling more energized? I mean, maybe are you more sluggish? Do you notice maybe there's swelling? Just really paying attention to your body too, because we all have different genetic makeup that also it can indicate different things for each of us. So might be good for one, might not be good for another. But Julia, we'll go to you
Hi,
next.
yes, thank you. No, just back to the topic of fruit for a minute. I was wondering if any of you have heard any studies, for instance, regarding cherries and as far as inhibiting like cancer cell growth or anything in relation to that. 'Cause I've read some studies. So just going back to kind of not cutting out all fruit completely because possibly maybe certain fruits actually are having the desired effect that you're looking for ideally.
Yes, exactly. And I can't speak directly to the cherries, but I do know that there are certain fruits that are better than others.
Mm.
Cherries could be part of one of them. And blueberries, raspberries, blackberries are really good for like for colon cancer prevention. And strawberries, more of those berries, but staying away from more of like, eating too many apples because apples are super high in sugar. Bananas definitely are a high sugar content as well. And so just being very mindful on the fruit that you're choosing and knowing what the fruit will help do or potentially maybe harm the cells as well. So just finding that really good balance to be able to do
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
we'll go over to Lily.
Add something to that question very quick. Big picture in other big picture in like eating fruits. It's very by individual because we have to also know the microbiome because different bacterias different people might react to eating fruits differently. If they might they might trigger certain microorganism to overgrow in the body than certain. That's why it's a cherries. Yeah, I've heard something like that, but I believe so anything in this world you take would have anti-cancer properties. It doesn't really matter. If you take a stone, it would have anti-cancer properties. If you hit the stone up and put it on the places that it hurts, it would have anti-cancer properties. I believe like anything, like it's just it doesn't mean that we have to jump in and take everything loaded in our body. We have to be very mindful about the local area you live in, what grows around you, because your body and whatever grows around you, you both get solar energy at the same level, which matters a lot when you're trying to heal your body because of that solar energy. So that's another way of looking at the stuff too. Yeah, the microbiome is another one.
I agree with you that the entire environment matters, including people, things, nature. Because
Yeah.
it all affects the inner emotional and psychological and physical well-being. So I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, you
That's
cannot isolate one thing out there at all.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's always a combined effort, in every area of your life. It is, it's a like we were just saying, a combined effort, and I mean, it's epigenetics. So everything in our environment is affecting us. I was actually just listening to a book earlier today, just talking about how things are usually kind of okay if like the toxins exposure, what we're exposed to is maybe like one or two things, or just maybe a few things a day, but we have 100 or 100 plus, thousands plus constantly coming at us. And so really looking at and I talk about this all the time, you guys. So just the foundation again, and seeing what it is that we need to be able to focus on. And maybe if you are, say you're somebody that does eat some junk food, or you are a sweet tooth or something like that, finding those good alternatives to help you start switching over to a healthier option. Again, like everybody was talking about, these are all good things to be able to do. So, the cherries, again, like Maya was talking about, making sure that your gut microbiome is good to go, and being able to process things definitely. So yeah, it's just a combined effort. But we'll go over to Lily.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say if anybody knows about cherries, it would be Leonard. So Leonard, you didn't fail. You always live up to and rise up to the occasion. First one to give the research, amazing walking encyclopedia, Leonard. So thank you. I want to acknowledge Leonard. I just met Harmon last week, or the last time I was on, and so it sounds like he's also on top of things as well. So good job, guys. One of the things I just wanted to add one thing, and the importance of reading labels. Just recently, and I want to say this to Maya as well, I was so disappointed. I love Costco's wild berries, and they have now changed, and I think that it's the goal of Costco to have everything with their name on it, with their Kirkland brand. And so just recently, I would say in the last month, I have had to stop buying their wild berries because it doesn't say zero preservatives. So if you're buying the wild berries with the Kirkland brand on it, it doesn't make that guarantee that the wild berries that were there before, which were cheaper than the organic. So from this point on, I'm going to have to buy the the organic brand if I go to Costco. Now I'll have to go somewhere else to get the Winans. I forget the name that they had there before. But just always, even if you've had the same brand for years and years and years, just take a peek at the labels, because you never know how they're cutting corners and what they're doing to kind of, I don't know, just scrape in with the brand recognition. So I just wanted to add that.
Nice.
And that's a really good point. I just had a 20-minute conversation at Sprouts. Went to the grocery store for the first time because I had a little bit of minor surgery. I went to the grocery store, and all the stores now have these misters over all the fruits and vegetables, like on the shelves, right? The little misters. So I asked the manager of the store, what is in these misters? Oh, it's just water. I said, no, it's not just water. It can't be. So it took her 20 minutes. She had to call corporate. She called the corporate office. They shot her an email. The email listed all the chemicals. Now, mind you, they're trying to tell you their trace levels, right? But all the chemicals that are being misted on all the organic and conventional fruits and vegetables in all of our grocery stores, Whole Foods, Sprouts, all these is one of the worst. I don't know what you guys have in your neighborhoods. In addition, I went a little bit further because I'm a researcher, and I said, listen, walk around the store with me. We went, where you get the lettuces, and they have Annie's Organics and all these other lettuces that are in the plastic, supposedly BPA free plastic containers, triple washed. Well, they triple wash it with this same, it's called veggie rinse, and it's all chemicals. So not only do you have to wash and soak your lettuce, you have to wash and soak all your fruits and vegetables. You have to scrub the hard-skinned ones with vinegar, white vinegar. I mean, I fortunately have an alkaline ionized water unit from Active Pure in my kitchen where I can soak all my fruits and vegetables in everything because the alkaline water, they all have an acidic switch on the machine, and you can use the acidic water to clean all the fruits and vegetables in a big pan, throw everything in, put the water in. I got Joanna a unit also. And I'm telling you, I've had it for like 15 years. I mean, thank God I have it because I don't know where to go anymore to find anything that's healthy. Even the farmers markets are now telling you they're getting things from the local farms, but they're really getting it from Tennessee and Kentucky and Georgia and somewhere else where the soil is compromised. So just my 2 cents. I had the girl's head spinning the other day in the store, and she was like, I'm so glad you came in because I learned everything I need to know about how to buy my fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
So every store, Costco's terrible, Target, terrible, all of them, they're all terrible.
Yeah. Oh, those are such great points that you guys both brought up. I mean, it's something that's so important. It really is.
Yeah, you guys all need to see Ingrid, who's Ingrid, throw up your hand. So Ingrid is with the company that sells the water units at our conference, and we attach them to the faucet in the hotel so that everything we wash and clean for everybody that eats at our conference drinks water out of glasses. My cousin is actually the CEO of the company, and he spent the last 20 years trying to make products that help people in their homes. And so, Ingrid, you got to come up with a really good promotion on those water units. Everybody needs one.
That's wonderful. And what can you put the name of them again in the chat? Or would you be able to do that,
Yeah,
Ingrid? Okay.
Ingrid will put a link so that you can contact her directly.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Again, even like cleaning our vegetables, it's so important. Just we don't even think about it sometimes, I think, beforehand, like what we're putting on them to even clean them. If you don't have one of those water things available, it's not as, um, probably as effective as the more acidic water, but just using even water and baking soda can help with that too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
that's just
exactly
wonderful.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to say, Annette. Soaking in the baking soda for about 15 minutes. Any of your things that study had shown that it can remove lots of pesticide and lots of sprays up to like I believe so 7 millimeters under the skin. So if I'm not mistaken, so soaking for about 12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's hard when you soak berries because berries turn into the
Mush.
Mushy. How do you not get them mushy? Does anybody have an answer
You
for that?
can't. That's why you need something like the water units, but very hard to clean berries, almost impossible. And also you need the food grade baking soda. You can't just throw a spoonful of Arm& Hammer in there. It needs to be the food grade baking soda. You can also take that daily as to alkaline your body to get rid of the acidity. If you've got heartburn or if you've got indigestion, it's also good for that too.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Excellent points. Let's see here. Maya, do you have anything else that you were going to share? Or?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Deborah?
One of the things that I wanted to add is, Julia, when you had said that, I think that's fantastic that you went into Sprouts and did that. I think it's absolutely amazing. And it makes me want to go do that at my Sprouts here. And as a matter of fact, all of them to go through and just make that. What would have been even better is the response that she gave you. It's great that she learned, but I would take that to corporate. I would take that another step higher. To hear her say that would have been absolutely fantastic. So it just makes me realize I need to take that to corporate. I need to put something together and do a study or something and go and visit these stores and just actually put that out there and say, hey, look, this is what we're seeing and this is what we're finding. Is there any chance to change that? Or, that type of thing. But fantastic job. Good work.
Yeah, and it just reminded me. I mean, I wonder if Environmental Working Group is actually doing a study because they do all these studies like right from the beginning. I wonder if they've gotten on this bandwagon because it started like a year or two ago with those appeal stickers and all the compromising. I mean, I was saying to a friend of mine the other day, not to get off topic, but it's kind of on topic, that I do not remember the last time I bit into a strawberry, a blueberry, an apple, a peach, a tomato that actually tasted like the way it was supposed to taste. When I was a kid, I grew up with my Italian grandmothers. We had everything growing in the ground. I can't even, every time I bite into something, it just tastes, there's no taste.
There's no
Does
taste.
anybody else have the same problem?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. And it
Yep.
even smells
Right?
differently when you're cooking it. I think sometimes if you're cooking it, sometimes it can smell differently. Even when you're eating it, sometimes it smells differently.
Because
Yeah,
There is no
it's-
taste anymore, it seems. Mhm.
the soil
there isn't.
doesn't have a bacteria that gives those nutrients to the plant anymore because it's been sprayed so much.
Depleted. Yeah.
Soil is depleted. It's not like, it's a microorganism. This world is basically comes from microorganisms, and they've been destroyed completely. And that's
Yeah.
another way for me, when a personal for me is like, I question like what exactly I'm putting in my mouth, even though if it's organic, if it's fruits, or if it's like whatever, what exactly goes into our body, that's why it's like we're talking about cherries has anti-cancer properties, peach has anti-cancer properties, whatever, like apricot kernels, they do have it, but what other ingredients comes with it, you know what, because the soil they're growing up, the sprays they're getting in, even though organic, they still spray them,
Yeah, they do. As a
Right.
matter of fact,
yeah.
one of the best sources right now for everyone on this call is Dynamic Greens. They have the only outdoor grown wheatgrass farm in North America. It's in Ontario, in the woods. They have, it's like eating condensed sunlight. They press the wheatgrass, they put it in ice cubes, they ship it to you in saltwater ice overnight. You get your cooler, you got little ice trays, you pop them in your freezer, and in the morning you just pop them in your glass. So if you're doing wheatgrass, which is a great alternative to not being able to find things that are, healthy for us to eat, 1 ounce of wheatgrass equals 2.5 pounds of green leafies. That's your whole desk full of leafies. And it's loaded with antioxidants, minerals, vitamins, superfoods, antioxidant, et cetera, enzymes, et cetera. So that is a great source of like a mini transfusion of condensed sunlight into your body every day, not only if you have cancer, but just for maintenance. I mean, I've been doing wheatgrass for 25 years, and Dynamic Greens is the only farm. There used to be one in California, but there's another farm right next door, and they started using pesticides. So dynamicgreens.com is the bomb. And it promotes healing on a cellular level. Your skin, your hair, and your nails will never be the same. They'll be like, you'll be so happy.
Yeah.
And you can put it on your face.
I was just gonna say, is it a powder form? Does it come in powder? Okay.
No, it's liquid and
Oh, it's a liquid.
frozen. It's frozen. And you pop the cubes in a glass in the morning. So while you're getting yourself ready, it liquefies and you just shot.
Oh, that sounds way easier than mixing a powder together and then having tray stuff on there.
Powder is not
Nice.
anywhere near the live food.
Yeah. When I
And
was
all the flats of wheatgrass that you see in all these juice bars, they're all grown indoors. So anything grown indoors has simple sugars and mold naturally occurring on it, and I don't want to drink mold.
Mm-hmm.
I used to grow my own wheat grass when I had cancer, and I was getting like ancient grains, like einkorn grains, like 50 pounds at the time, and not even with berries, because with berries I know they've been cultivated. I had no idea what kind of wheatgrass they're gonna grow. So I would go with either spelt or einkorn. I would buy, and we would grow them, you know. Some we did grow in the wintertime indoors, but we had the lights on. But in the summertime, we did grow outdoors. Yeah. And I was getting them like that because it's so hard when you start learning about toxicity and everything that surrounds you. It's so hard to choose what exactly you want to put in your body. So that's why for me, it's like I did a lot of things myself. It did take
Yeah,
a
well, I mean, the wheatgrass is just a great alternative to like not wanting to go out and buy all these fruits and vegetables that taste like cardboard, but you
yeah,
want the nutrients from, from the fruits and vegetables, and you don't want the high sugar content. It's just a really great, you might want to just consider it. I mean, I love it.
yeah. And
That's great.
it has been cultivated as well because they don't have the same DNA anymore the way they used to have. So, and that's for me another topic. Always like in my brain, if I'm gonna buy an apple that's been modified with other seeds or other DNA, and it's it says it's organic, am I really getting something that my body knows how to break it down, or my DNA knows how to recognize it, how to respond to that? That's what I always ask myself. So that's
We
why
have a great speaker that's going to cover regenerative farming at the conference.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
big, regenerative farming is how I grew up on the farm when I was a little girl from
yeah.
my Italian immigrant grandparents, right? So now we're going back to
Oh,
composting and getting the soil more fertile,
yeah,
but we're going to have a great speaker, by the way. So it'll
yeah,
be fun.
oh,
nice.
that's exciting. That's really exciting. Yeah, it's just something that we need to probably talk about a whole lot more, just regenerative and sustainability altogether. And we as consumers need to be knowledgeable on it. We need to know what we're putting in our body, what we're purchasing. So that's
Yeah, we
wonderful.
need to buy some land. All of us have a little chunk and have our own little garden, but I don't know where you find soil that's like not tainted, but maybe the speaker will let us know.
We
Tennessee,
could,
I know is the area. Tennessee, I know is the area because they are not aligned to, the chemtrails to cross through the state of Tennessee.
Or Florida.
Florida
ooh,
is another one. Yeah.
mhm.
But
Yeah.
the soil is already compromised.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, we've got Julia's hand is up. Thanks for sharing that, both of you, Julia, or Julia and Maya. We're gonna go to the other Julia.
Sorry, I have another question, but just going back to the soil for a second. Julia, what did you mention about Florida, or did what was said about Florida? That the soil is better or not better?
No, that Florida just passed legislation that you cannot spray chemtrails from the planes anymore. So
Ah,
it's a criminal offense now. So
It's still happening.
no geoengineering, no cloud seeding, and no
mm,
chemtrails. But they've been doing it for what, 20 years?
mm.
And they're still doing it, Julia. I look up in the sky all the time and I'm seeing it. I live at the beach, near the beach,
Well, you
and
need to
it's
report it. You need to report it
okay.
because yeah, there's a line to call.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was that
Thank
out of
you.
every airport? I thought they banned that just those aircraft flying that are known to be spreading the chemsating, that it was just a few airports right now
Well,
out of
I
Florida.
listened to the Surgeon General not too long ago, and apparently it's statewide now, and they have a number that you can call to report aircraft that you see wherever you are.
Perfect.
So I
Okay.
guess they're trying to, I mean, planes are going to go
Yeah.
up, right? What are we going to do?
They do it at night. I do see that.
Yes, right?
People don't see that much. And that's how you wake up in the morning, especially when there's sunrise or sunset, it's blocked,
Mm.
those parts are always get blocked. So
Thank you. I mean, my other question was about water. I Someone mentioned distilled, something that I've read, like as far as drinking distilled water versus other types of water. Do any of you have any thoughts on distilled water?
I see Leonard kind of. Do you have some information on that, Leonard? Maybe share.
I agree distillation removes almost all the harmful toxins, but also the healthy minerals, and
Mm,
I worry about the pH and other things. I would use it only if it was my only healthy source of water.
okay, thank
And
you
if you
so
use-
much.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Also, reverse osmosis takes out all the good minerals too.
Yeah, and if you're using distilled water, add a salt, sea salt, like a Baja
Mm,
salt or Celtic salt to your water,
mm-hmm,
replenish the nutrient, I mean, like
mm-hmm.
those minerals, and then you can have it. But plain distilled water, it's gonna deplete the nutrients, electrolytes from your body even more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
almost everyone needs trace minerals, and especially if you drink distilled or reverse osmosis.
Yeah.
Mm, thank you.
Speaking of salt, Maya, I have a
Oh,
question for you.
Okay.
So I'm hard pressed to find iodized salt, which used to be commonplace when I was a kid. And I know we have an iodine epidemic, which is a cause of a lot of glandular cancers like breast and prostate. So what do you guys, what brands do you guys, you, Leonard, others that are really well versed in this, where do I find really good iodized salt?
Um,
Oh, I
I
did so.
don't think so. There's such a thing exist, getting a good ionized iodide salt, because first of all, I think it's gonna evaporate from the salt as soon as you open the package. And the level they usually would put the iodine level that they would use in the salt is not gonna meet your needs, your body's needs. That's I think that's a big picture. Like I've been taking the potassium iodide from Lugol's brand. I've been taking that for 10 years, about 50 milligrams a day.
Can you put that in the chat?
Yeah.
Also, there wasn't a salt when I was a kid, and I'm probably older than most everybody on this call, that was called Morton's iodized salt. And Morton's used to have a little picture of like a little girl
Yeah,
on the thing. And so, but they stopped putting iodine in the salt, and they tried,
but
first starting to kill, trying
Julia,
to kill us.
that was table salt though. Table salt is,
Right,
yeah.
That wasn't
So,
right.
real salt though. That wasn't a real salt. That was a
correct.
sodium hydroxide, I believe so, that it was made artificially. It wasn't a real like a sodium hydroxide. I think it was so therefore like using like a clean sea salt, like I use Baja or Celtic sea salt, sometimes Malden, it depends. Like I just ordered like 25 like pounds of Baja salt. That's what we use in our household. Or we put it in the water. I mean, we do everything with it. And then, and I just add iodine drops in it, not in it,
Yeah,
or just take separately iodine drops, because it's been a decade that I've been taking iodine. And
yeah, me too.
when they talk about iodine is bad for your thyroid, there it's
No,
and the iodine recommended iodine intake is 153 154 micrograms, and the fear that they put in people's brain that is like, if you take it more than that, you're gonna get thyroid dysfunction. But people, when they start, I have clients reverse Hashimoto's just because they start taking like iodine.
oh
Reverse.
yeah, definitely. I put it right on my throat, the tincture. Lynn Farrow, who spoke at our conference about 18, maybe our first conference, she was lived in Long Island, and she was studying the effects of breast cancer in the Long Island, New York, Connecticut area where I'm from. She wrote this book called The Iodine Crises.
Yes.
And you remember that book?
Yeah, I do.
And Leonard, you probably met her, but she was brilliant. I mean, this was like one of the leading causes of breast cancer in these clusters
Yeah.
Like everybody was totally iodine deficient, vitamin D deficient, amongst other things. But so that anyway, I was just wondering about salt and blah, blah, blah. So thank you, Maya, for answering that question.
It's not only breast cancer, it's prostate cancer and
Yeah.
even thyroid cancer is related to iodine deficiencies just because like T4 contains like and T3 they contain like about 60 69 or 72% of iodine molecules in them. So if we don't have enough iodine in the thyroid, there's barely conversion of T4 to T3 to active T3 in the thyroid. So taking iodine is very important, but everyone has to get their own personal dose, you know, how much they have to take, because there might be a time when people start taking iodine, their thyroid function might increase. And that's what happened to my client. Actually, her thyroid function increased, but she felt much better. You know, and the doctor goes like, how do you feel? She goes, I feel fine. And she goes, but your numbers are crazy. So when people just start taking, and that's in the book, actually, Lynn Farrell's book and Dr.
Yeah.
Winston's book is also the same thing. Like iodine, like numbers might go up, but that doesn't mean the thyroid, this like would be dysfunctioning. So people have to be just patient for about 5-6 months. And then after that, the numbers are going to balance itself. So that's like another way of looking at it too.
And I just
Yeah, I
want
had that. I had that happen to me. I did the iodine loading when I first had breast cancer, and that happened. And then then it modulated, and it was fine. So, but it's the same thing with vitamin D3. Vitamin D. Most doctors are going to tell you you're fine if your range is like 30, 40, or 50. But when as women and men, you need to be in the 70, 80 range. I mean, I'm in the 90 range all the time. So.
Even 90.
But it's just all these things that we were told a pack of lies. Like,
I
Yeah.
feel like that with a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff that is just like it's like that, But I was just going to add to what you guys were both saying too. It's just really important to work with a practitioner that's really versed in managing thyroids and thyroid function because it
yes,
is a very touchy gland. And there could even be more going on besides just, being low in iodine or having, lower trace minerals. I mean, there could be even like a selenium issue, some type of conversion issue. So say if you're, trying to do some of those things, and you are working with your care provider, but you are noticing that you're still not having the results that you're needing or that you're looking for, your body's still having some issues with it, definitely works with somebody to be able to dive into that a little bit better. But like Maya Angelia said, adding iodine is probably something we all need to be doing because we're not getting enough of it. I mean, it's just something that we are all lacking. Again, it's like the trace minerals. We should be taking trace minerals most days because that also helps replace when you're taking the trace minerals and even like the iodine, it will replace a lot of heavy metals that could be building up in your body. So it helps replace those receptor sites with the good things that you want in there. And it helps get rid of those toxins and then the heavier metals as well too. So it helps detox, I like to kind of say. I mean, detoxing is just really getting rid of those toxins, right? But really what you're doing is you're replacing it with the stuff that your body really needs and you're getting rid of the stuff that your body doesn't really need.
Yeah, and the iodine, I want to add a couple of things about iodine. So iodine needs supported supplements, supported minerals, not supplements, minerals. So whether you get them with your supplementing them, whether you get them with food, it's very important. Selenium is one of them. Taking selenium and taking iodine with salt is very important, and magnesium. So selenium, for example, if people supplementing with selenium during the cancer, like I don't usually recommend, because selenium might interfere with antioxidant production, like such as like glutathione and other things. We need that selenium, but it has to come from food source instead of coming from supplement. That's one of the point I want to bring it up. And the other point is a lot of people when they even being at the conference, so we have a lot of people who do talk about vegetarian diet, plant-based diet when people have cancer, but no one ever had brought it up. Like cruciferous vegetables will deplete the iodine from thyroid big time. No one talks about it. Never heard anyone talking about it. Everyone's promoting plant-based, but And they're pushing cruciferous vegetables, stating that they are sulfur containing vegetables, they're good for human body, which they are, but no one talks about it. If people are gonna push taking cruciferous vegetables, their thyroid is gonna go off balance. They're gonna they're gonna get iodine even lower, the iodine that the body does not have. And that's why a lot of people get anxiety or symptoms, Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, and whatever, goiters. Those cruciferous vegetables, they're goitrogenic vegetables. So it's very important adding iodine if people are using higher intake of cruciferous vegetables.
Yeah, it has to all be looked at in total, so and each. So we're going to be our conference. I think Joanna's going to put the link to our registration for our conference, but our conference next year, which Beat Cancer is going to partner with us on, is going to be called Quarterbacking Cancer. So what we've always felt is that there are missing links with everybody's cancer journey and healing protocol.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people are doing their own research. They think they know everything because they watch one Instagram post for 30 seconds with one doctor promoting a product, etc. We believe that you need a quarterback to take you from beginning until your whole life, really, so that you're doing diagnostics, you're trying to figure out what's going on in your body. Like every year, something different is going on in your body. And so you need somebody to follow you, be able to prescribe the right testing that you can't get at your conventional doctor, and also help you along the way and answer your questions and be able to adjust and tweak your plan of care. Mine has changed 25 times in 25 years, right? So we're going to be doing this quarterbacking cancer thing where we're looking at the whole person, and each individual is different, and each person needs, like you said, Maya, somebody might need more iodine, might need less iodine, might need more vitamin. So that's what our focus is going to be in 2026, and I'm really excited about it because we all need a quarterback, all of us, even those of us that are health advocates.
Yeah. I actually would like speak the next year at the Annie Appleseed.
Our agenda is full right now.
Yeah.
We just finalized our agenda, but you call me, we'll talk a little bit.
Okay. I will.
That's just an exciting way to be able to bring the conference about. I love that vision that you're having for it. Because you're right, we all do. We need a quarterback. We need like our team of cheerleaders to be able to help cheer us on to get through it. And so we're all here, we're here to be able to be there for you for sure. So
The whole point is looking outside the box. It's like just because everyone says this and that doesn't mean that's gonna apply to you or to me or to other person.
Exactly.
So different. Everyone. I was actually talking to my client yesterday, and she was telling me she asked me something. I said, you know what? I have worked with so many clients, and I would tell you one thing. I learned from every client something new. That's number one. And number two, like I do not have a client that would mimic another client's like protocol or lifestyle or diet. I don't have that client. Everyone is so different. Everyone is so like I have to prepare. I have to go through every client separately to understand who they are, where they're coming from, everything, every step, and changing constantly. Like you said, you 25 years, you're changing every year. I'm the same way. 10 years cancer-free, changing all the time. Learning, digging, and change.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah.
It's ongoing. It's when I started this journey 25 years ago, completely changed my entire life. And you have to become the CEO, CMO, CFO, CTO over your own life, your own body, and you have to just keep doing research. And as you get older, you have to make adjustments because your body is changing. But so we're going to be quarterbacking cancer at the conference, and Ingrid, I see, put in the chat Ingrid Swales put in the chat where you can get the water units, so you can give her a call. She even put her telephone number there. Thank you, Ingrid. So come up with some good prices.
Yeah.
I
And
will. I
Joanna,
got 'em.
I think Joanna is going to put the link for registration for our conference, and Beat Cancer is going to be one of our main partner sponsors in the event. So that's going to be really fun. And Carl and Zach are going to help us from the main stage because they're so good, you know, and from the stage.
They really are.
Does that mean it's going to be a football theme?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like football T-shirts and cheerleader outfits and all that stuff.
You never know.
This
Never
was
know.
awesome. This was awesome, right?
You never know.
This
I think we're just gonna all have to go and show up and see what we come up with there. See if anybody's
Listen, you
dressed up in
guys
their
have to
football
all
outfits.
you have to be there. You come on, this is our community. We need to all be together at least once a year for positive energy, right?
Absolutely. I swear, you know, when this was my first year when I came to the conference, and I felt like I was just around my family, like my tribe. Like it was just the best. It was just the best being in that environment, you know? And really you go there and you gain so much information, but you also gain relationships and you gain that networking. And that's really where a lot of it is so much it's at. Plus, it's just a wonderful experience. And the food was, oh my gosh, so good. And the speakers were incredible and amazing. And it's a laid back, you know, conference too. It's not one that you have to feel like you're too like stuffy or anything like that. It's just very relatable, I guess is probably the best way to put it. And you guys just do such a wonderful job putting that on. So we want to thank you for doing
Thank
all of the hard
you.
work behind the scenes. You're welcome.
And
Doing all
thank
the
you,
hard work.
Joanna. Joanna does a lot of really hard work too. Yeah, so also, I mean, I encourage you, I'm not trying to do the hard sell, but last year I had 100 people on a wait list trying to get into the conference. We only have a certain number of seats, and the hotel rooms sold out like January 1st. I had to get a secondary hotel to try to get another block of rooms. And, you know, it's February in Florida, like peak of peak. So book your, you know, register and book your hotel room as soon as you can because they're going to sell out and we only have a certain number of rooms. And so we want you all with us. We can have a big sleepover party, you know, in the hotel.
I go this year or not? Should I go next year or not? I was debating. I even told Deborah.
You have to come. My gosh, you have to
Yeah.
be there. What the what?
And now it's
No question. No question.
my gosh. Yeah. It would be nice to go. I know.
Well,
We will be there.
Thank you.
oh, yes, thank you. Thank you,
And I
guys.
know, and I know Leonard will be there, and I know Lisa's going to be there. So, and Lily's going to be there. Lily, maybe we could do a live broadcast from the
That would be great.
conference, your radio show.
That would be great. Let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk. That would be great.
Love
And maybe
it.
I can interview all the extra speakers, as as we get closer, we can maybe make some plans to highlight them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be great. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope we found the information, you know, helpful. And again, it's just such a wonderful time to be able to sit and chat with like-minded individuals and also bring you guys, you know, up-to-date information and information that you might not know about regarding cancer care, and cancer survivorship. And we just thank you for spending this time with us. And we will be back again next Thursday at 7 p.m., which is BeatCancer.org for Ask a Holistic Cancer Coach call next Thursday. And then in November, we'll have our other call as well with Annie Appleseed Project. But oh, yes, Ingrid.
Does everybody know how to save the chat? Because there's some really good information here.
Oh, that's
It
a great.
automatically saves to everybody, I think.
No, I don't think so.
Now you have to hit the three little dots up at the top of the chat box. And when you click on those dots, it says save chat. and then it'll automatically save onto your computer.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for reminding everybody of that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. We're gonna have to bring that up probably more often.
Mhm.
Little
I wish
save.
I wish I would have known that 6 months ago.
Oh. Well, maybe someone already did save it.
I bet Zach saved every single
Yeah.
one of them. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
he's
person-
pretty on top of it.
The person who's recording this, that's the one that Lily was saying automatically does get saved. So
Right.
the person
Okay.
who's recording, but everyone else, you can personally record it yourself on your computer by saving the chat.
Awesome.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
and big shout out to Carl and Zach. We miss you.
Yes.
Yes, we do. They have some big shoes to fill. They're pretty great hosts.
You guys are great.
But thank you. So we'll wrap up for
Thank you.
tonight. We just thank you everybody again for joining us. And it was a great chat, and we'll see you next Thursday, 7 p.m.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye-bye.
Great job,
Good night.
guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night. Ciao, ciao.
Bye. Ciao.